and the things that I had to do to fully commit to be relieved of things like my brokenness and all of that, things I was taught growing up, you can't wear earrings, as a man, no tattoos, certain things, I could go down a long list, women not wearing, pants and things like that. It's a lot of things that we were taught that I just as a kid was not ready to go into that direction. And then growing up, still having those beliefs, not believing that you could be relieved of and be relieved of brokenness and have a relationship with God and not have to take that type of step to feel like, it's nothing on this planet Earth that I'm going to be able to do if I commit like that. You get what I'm saying? That's the way we felt, and one thing I can say about people I grew up around, we didn't play when it came down to our faith. We didn't play when it came down to God. We didn't play. So we wasn't either we was going to do it that way, or we was just going to stay sinners and just pray that one day we make it to be able to be on the other side. But, having that type of thought and that type of mental state and feeling like that, I feel like it affected and it hurt a lot of us. And I see that in a lot of different churches. I see that in a lot of different places. And I see that, big time in our culture. And not just in our culture, across the world. But I'm just saying my culture because it's what I grew up around and it's what I've seen a lot, and a lot in the Christian community have changed now to let people feel like, it's okay no matter who you are and what you're going through in life to have that relationship with God and be relieved of feeling like you have to be super holy to be able to have that relationship from the start when you don't have to be that way. God just say, open your heart and let me in and I will enter. He don't say that, you have to, get on your knees and start speaking in tongues and don't speak no other way the rest of your life. That is it. Don't look at the world. Don't look at nothing. If you do, you're going to go to hell. That ain't the way that it's explained, and that ain't the way that it is. So it took me till I got older to really understand that. And then, really look at the Christian community and people, out here who are, mentors and taught in different ways for me to really start to understand what it really is to have that relationship, So I say all these things because I want people to understand that you do not have to walk around and deal with brokenness that you may feel. You don't have to walk around and be in that place in life. You can be relieved of that brokenness. You don't have to fear letting God into your heart. You don't have to fear letting God into your life. You don't have to fear that. You know what I'm saying? It's nothing at all to fear when it comes down to building a relationship with God. And the joy and happiness that will come from it, from being relieved of the brokenness that you have going on inside of you, it far outweighs anything that you think that you want to do or live by when it comes down to it. It outweighs all of that. And I want people to really understand that. I'm a living testimony. I'm a person who was scared to ever go into a direction of really letting God into my heart and turning my life into that direction. And eventually being relieved of my brokenness that continued to affect me in my life over and over again. I was a person who, even though I knew it was important if I was going to grow in life to have that relationship, I still wasn't ready to do it. That's deep, right? I'm a person who was able to fully understand that, what? God just want to be let in. He just want to help us when it comes down to what we're dealing with. I'm talking about brokenness, but it's a lot that we deal with. Brokenness is, to me, just one of the biggest things. It's one of the biggest areas that we need help with. And God is the direction that we have to seek to gain that help. But I'm bringing this up today because and using myself as an example to really let everybody know that I was the ultimate broke when it come down to being broken inside. I was a person who I was ready to leave off the face of this earth. I was a person who worked sickly hard day in and day out and didn't understand why I was not succeeding for years. For years. I knew what was the right thing to do, but I didn't care. I was like, look, I'm going to do it my way. No matter what's going on inside of me, no matter what I feel, I'm going to do it my way and I'm going to make it through all of this. Ask me if it ever happened. No, I just kept seeking under and under and under until I can't even lift my head up anymore. I was further than 6 feet, you know, and I still was being stubborn until I ended up in a hospital and eventually ended up, you know, in a mental institution for a couple of days because they didn't know what was going on with me. Yes, I'm fine with admitting all of these. If you look at some of my videos that I have on YouTube, I go through all of this, you know. That's also why I'm able to write such good stories. You know, I've been a writer since I was 9 and, you know, I'm good with using my imagination, but I've been through things. So that's why when you see shows like The City, you know, I'm able to write in those different directions and angles because I've been through some things. I wouldn't be doing these videos if I didn't. If I didn't have a story and an ability to want to help and to help others, I wouldn't be doing things like this because I don't want to waste people's time. And if I didn't have the experience, I wouldn't be doing this as well because I want people to know that I understand it and I've been there. I believe it's important, you know. It's what God is leading me to do, and I will do the work God has for me. So I want people to know clearly I've been there. I wouldn't be talking about it if I didn't. So I want everybody to understand I was the ultimate broke when it come down to dealing with brokenness. And it took for me to understand and sit back and say, you know what, God, I surrender. If you really everything that people say, you say, and all that, Lord Jesus, I'm giving it all to you. And I'm going to run in your direction. I'm going to take that, you know, I'm going to say risk. At that time, I'm going to say risk. It's not a risk. But I'm just speaking in terms of that everybody can understand. I'm going to take that risk and I'm going to go in your direction. Lord Jesus, please show me what it is that I've been missing. Immediately, things in my life started to change once God started to heal my heart, relieve me of the brokenness that I was dealing with, you know, and there were steps going into that direction. I didn't immediately just become a super saint. I wasn't immediately on my knees speaking in tongues. Oh, thank you. I wasn't doing none of that. I just accepted God in my life, asked God for forgiveness and to heal my heart and relieve me of everything that I'm feeling dealing with brokenness or whatever it is. And God, seeing that I was opening the door to let him in, started little by little to change my life, change my heart, my thoughts, my ways. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just speaking from experience. I'm just speaking from a place of this is what I've dealt with. This is what I went through. And brokenness is something that affects us tremendously. And it's important for us to understand that we need to, especially in these times, see God, relieve ourselves of this brokenness that we have inside of us. Let God in.